This is part two of Rachel O'Reilly's ePortfolio, just to kind of go into more detail about the different tabs of the ePortfolio. So start off with the OTPF tab right here. Let me zoom out. I chose this concept map because I feel like it, one, was visually appealing and pretty easy to read and not very stressful. But I also like that it's very succinct and it doesn't have a lot of extra words. So you can see that it goes into, domain and process, and then it just goes through listing each thing within these arenas. So you can see right here, this is just pretty short and to the point. This is pretty short and to the point. Um, I liked that it went into the AOTA and ICF a little bit more. So this was the one I chose for that. Let's minimize that. For cognition, here we go. Cognition is such a big part of what we've learned. So I thought a really good concept mapped on this was the models because, it's important to know where your basis of treatment's going off of. So I have all these different kinds of models, and then under each model, there's the focus, application, treatment for each model. And so this is super useful information right here. And I chose this because of the way that it's broken up, and it has all of these little sub points under each model for cognition. Okay, and then I'll minimize this. And next is evaluation. So this is just like all the different kinds of evaluations that we could do. Obviously, it's not every single one, but it's just the ones that um, I think that I need the most memorizing for. So there's that. Close that again. And then we have our treatment and intervention tab. Again, there is so much information that we've learned about treatment and intervention. This is just kind of stuff that I thought was super useful. And then under the assessing and optimizing abilities, this has a lot of information just about choosing interventions and different techniques and, everything for this chapter. Close that. We have the motor planning, optimizing motor planning with neurological disorders. I've seen a lot of clients like this in my fieldwork, so I really went into detail about this stuff. I just kind of used my classmates' concept maps and also just kind of put in different things that I've seen over the last couple years for fieldwork. So that one's a pretty big chunk of this. Where is it? Let's see. Let me find it to minimize it. Okay. And I have this teaching and learning topic, the principles, the factors, different types of learning, potential instruction, phases of learning, just really overview to go through the book about different types of learning. And then lastly, over on this other side right here, we have the complex case studies. And I chose to put all of these in here because it has so much information. As you can see, each case study here, I'll show one for an example. Each case study goes through pretty much everything that's on the OTPF for each client. So, for example, this one has an occupational profile with the social history, the living situation, work history, medical history, present level of functioning, services, concerns. So it takes all of that information, and based on that, you know, and the analysis of occupational performance, functional status, based on that, our classmates did treatment interventions. Um, we did they're kind of showing what they think should be done in this case study. So, they go into a lot of detail here, and so just seeing their thought processes really can help you study. So you can see um, they go through a lot of stuff here, and then right here is where they start going through what they would do with the case study. So like bathing skills, kitchen activity, addressing dressing tasks, exercise. So you can use these case studies to not only study for the NBCOT, but also to get ideas for fieldwork too. Because if you have a client who is similar to the person in this case study, you could use some of this information later on down the line. So yeah, I included all of the case studies that we did. And